Welcome back, everyone. Dustin here, Average Guy Hi-Fi again. I've got something a little bit different for you guys, but it's still home audio related, I promise. I was kind of looking through I wasn't in the market for one of these, but I was kind of looking on the offer-ups and the Facebook marketplaces last week, and this popped up. This right here, if you guys can't recognize what it is a Panamax M7500-PRO. Panamax calls it a power control unit. So some of you out there would call it a surge protector. It definitely is a surge protector, but it also it has voltage monitoring in it as well too, that kind of protects it from over voltage or under voltage to damage your really kind of high-end gear that you can have out there, or even amplified speakers, things like that. That way, basically, it brings the power into this unit and makes sure that it's all clean and filtered out, and then it puts it out to your audio or your video sources that are in your rack. So I don't know a whole ton about these things, so some of the, I'm just trying to give you the information that I've known over the years. I've owned about 7 of these things from Panamax, Furman. I've owned a Monster power source. Like all the different brands, they kind of make some high-end units. This right here was, the top of the food chain. I have a Panamax M5100 out there in my rack now, but this popped up and it was on the used market for $180, which is a screaming deal. This right here had an MSRP of $2,000, and it's still considered kind of a very high quality piece of gear. You could put this in a very modern system and it would help kind of improve things. And also mainly the reason I like it is to protect all the investment that you have in that rack. So normally this would be out of my price range. It wouldn't make sense for me to spend $2,000 on a power conditioner if I had it plugged into a $1,000 TV and a $800 sound system. So this would be catered if you just at that MSRP pricing, if you had some really expensive gear, or your house has some power issues, like the power that's coming into your house isn't clean, it's dirty. There's a really good video on Crutchfield. I'll put that in my description. That it actually has kind of one of the employees from Panamax explaining what this thing actually does. So I'll keep this video short, leave it to the experts. They know what they're talking about way more than I do. I'm more of the speakers. But I wanted to make this video because things have really slowed down. I'm not wanting to go out and buy speakers as much, and if I do, it's porch drop-off or porch pickup, and I'll leave the money, those type of things, just because we're still dealing with the coronavirus and we're still on just kind of lockdown, basically. So it needs to kind of work out to where I'm not putting somebody else in danger or anything like that. So I've kind of put a big hold on everything when it comes to purchases, unless it's going to be in an area where I need to travel for work, and it's the right deal. It has to be a really good deal like this was. So I wanted this for my personal experience. I'm going to put this in place of that M5100 Panamax and see if I can notice a difference. The Panamax that I have out there is probably like a $400, maybe a $500 surge protector power station. This, again, is about 4 times that, over 4 times that, if it was on the lower end of that range. So I wanted to test this out for myself. I have an OLED TV, obviously. If you guys follow the channel, you'll know that. I have a nice amplifier from Rants. I have a nice receiver. I have just a bunch of kind of expensive gear hooked up to it. So for $180, this was an absolute no-brainer for me, because especially after reading the reviews. If you read the reviews on these things, a lot of people will say snake oil, things like that, and I'm not sure. That's kind of why I bought this. But what this is supposed to do is it's supposed to improve picture quality and sound, especially if you have a home with kind of dirty electricity coming into it. So again, I'll put that description, or in the description, I'll put that link to the Crutchfield video. Definitely check that out. I mean, this might be an easy purchase for you guys, especially if you get up there towards the $10,000 in gear, and some of you guys have $50,000 in gear. So investing a $2,000 into that to protect everything is basically, you'll have to weigh that for your own options. But for $180, for how much my gear cost, it was a no-brainer to go make this purchase. And it just gives you a little bit of peace of mind. I kind of like to get the best I possibly can afford, or within my reach on just about all this stuff. There's TVs that I would prefer to have over mine. There's speakers I would prefer to have over mine. But as we all know, there's a budget that we work within. So, for the channel, I'm not necessarily buying this to review it, but I'm buying it, and then I'll put my impressions in the description below if I notice a difference in sound quality, because I'm going to run out there. It's going to take a long time, but I'm going to disassemble everything. I'm going to reinstall everything, do some cable management, and then I'm going to get this guy in there and hooked up, and hopefully I can see a difference. So I've got Star Wars, the new Star Wars in 4K disc out there just waiting for me. So that's the movie that I'll test it out when I'm using this thing. So again, I wanted to get this video up just to try to keep the content going. I did pick up a Martin Logan Dynamo subwoofer, which I've owned plenty. I think I've owned like 6 of those things in the past, so they're very high quality, little compact subwoofers. And I do have a video on my channel that's like my first or second video, I can't remember, but it's dual Martin Logan Abyss subwoofers, which that is the 12-inch version. The Dynamo is the 10-inch version with the white woofer. So that'll be one of my reviews coming up here. And then again, I'm going to load this description up here with a ton of information. I'll put that Crutchfield link in there. Crutchfield's a great source. They keep their content. If it's something that's discontinued, a lot of times they'll keep it up there, so you can do some research on the secondhand market and kind of get that information. So Crutchfield's another great source, and they have great sales. Sometimes they get good buys on stuff, and they'll close stuff out, and so keep an eye out on that website as well too. So I know these kind of crazy times and everything out there, so I wanted to keep the content going. I promised you guys a couple videos a week, so I'll definitely hit it this week. Next week, I think I can hit it as well, but you know, I might have to review my receiver or something that I have there just until we get through this thing. So, but the good news is I'm starting to get the feeling out there. People are still isolated, not taking risks or anything like that unnecessarily, but I'm starting to get the feeling after looking at the news that we're getting a little bit of dip in the action, hopefully, here. That's not going to help the people that are sick now or that are dying now. So my thoughts and prayers and everything are out there to you people. But the service industry and the nurses and the doctors and all that stuff, they need a little bit of a break. So we need this thing to slow down. We all need a break. I'm going a little bit stir crazy myself. I'm kind of a solitary individual a lot of times anyway, but even this has got me a little bit down in the dumps at times. So stay positive out there, everyone. Obviously, home audio, it's a good time to be a home audio fan. I think this thing is going to turn the industry. I think that it's going to, movie theaters are struggling. So what I think this is going to do is just make people turn their homes into more and more people are going to be buying home theater systems. So hopefully I can help some of those people out that are just considering that don't want to go to the movie theater and spend all that money, or, you know, don't want to deal with the hassle. So, you know, that's kind of the purpose of this channel. Hopefully steer you guys in the right direction. I'm not an expert when it comes to surge protections and things like that, but I do have a lot of experience with speakers and audio equipment. So hopefully I can help you guys out on that end of things. This rambled on a little bit, so a little bit went longer than I was initially thinking. So thank you guys again for stopping by. My name is Dustin, and this channel is The Average Guy Hi-Fi. So please subscribe, help me spread the word. I'm up to 180 subscribers already, so every week I seem to be just gaining momentum. My views are going up and all that, so I really appreciate it. This is something that I was hoping that somebody would make a YouTube channel for, and I was tired of being lazy, and I just decided to do it myself. So hopefully this is some people out there are finding this information helpful. Any questions, feel free to ask, shoot me a message, reply to one of the videos, whatever is easier. Hopefully I can help you guys out a little bit. Thank you again for stopping by.